Check, check, check. This is Ox coming at you with the next 100-day update. If you're following me on Twitter, you can see that I'm doing daily progress there, showing something that I've worked on every day. So if you want to see that, you have to go over there. Wait, hold on. Let me do a quick rundown real quick of what I've been here. So yeah, that's what I've been up to the last 2 weeks. If you saw in there that little clip of me and Yann, that's kind of why I didn't want to do one last week, was because I knew we were going to start our accountability blog. So I didn't want to have a video because I knew that one was going to be up. If you haven't checked that one out, it's a hell of a lot of fun. Me and Yann are starting to hold each other accountable, and we are going to be doing 3 goals a week. We have consequences as well, so definitely check that out, because I foresee some great things happening because of that. Also, because of that, I am busting my ass right now trying to get my goals done for this week. I have stated that I wanted to get at least 1 page of 9 colored a day. I also wanted to get 5 pretty much ready for webtoons, and then for the third one I wanted to get a commission done. Some things kind of fell in the way. I did a giant painting for a friend for a business warming gift, I guess. I'll show more of that on my social media on Saturday. I'm not worried about her watching this video and hearing that and ruining the surprise, so don't tell her. Don't say anything about it till I give it to her there on Saturday. I'm also basically cutting off my mohawk. I'm going to trim it down to where it's reasonable, about 3 inches long, so I can spike it. I've just been missing spiking it, so I think now is a good time to get back into that. You might be wondering what you're looking at. You're seeing me in real time patch up these pages. These are tattered and torn up pages from issue 5. I operated on them in the hotel room because I had finished coloring issue 9, posted it the day before we went to hotel, and realized I wouldn't be able to color in the hotel just because I don't want to get marker ink everywhere. So that wasn't going to be able to be done, so I had to work on 5. So I took my razors and my pages that I needed to transplant some, pretty much almost all the dialogue out of 5 had to get cut up to get replaced. I figured the easier way would be to do that would be to cut out all the dialogue. If the speech bubbles were alright, like you can see on page 5 there, or in this issue 5, on that page, the one speech bubble is alright, so I cut around the line, basically cut out all the dialogue, and then took and put a page behind it and pasted that in place. This is what I want to tell you also. This is also why I want to do this video, is because I'm using everything at my disposal. Even to transplant these pages, I have rolls of, here in the Midwest, we have brutal winters, so we have these kits you can put over our windows, basically tape a big sheet film of saran wrap around to keep the wind out of a house, to keep it warm in the winter. But we used to have a giant bay window, and they'd always have extra rolls of tape. For some reason, I held on to those. They were always in the drawer of my art supplies, and when I started working on these pages back on issue 1 for webtoons, I realized that would be integral for making these pages, well, fixing these pages for realistically for Webtoons. So, back to the earlier, so that's what you're seeing in this video. Let me go back to the rundown of what I've done these last 2 weeks. Day 57 and 61 was basically getting issue 4 ready for Webtoons. I was able to get 3 done quicker than I wanted, or than I thought I was going to. 4 was a lot of this work, was patching and repairing dialogue. There wasn't many scenes to fix, so 4 did have that twirl of V taking off her shirt, which I had to redo for Webtoons because her twirl, when you open the book, it goes up the left side and then it catches the right side of the right page at the top, and then it comes down to where they are ready to jump in swim. So I had to reconfigure that twirl so it was coming down a page. So that was very interesting to do. There wasn't much else to do for issue 4, so I knew I could get those done, ready, scanned, and uploaded and ready for at least 2 weeks, and give me a little buffer room so I could work on 5. That's when me and Yann did our accountability checkup. I think it was like day 62, where we came up with our goals and consequences, and I realized I'd have about 5 days leeway that I could really start honing in on some issue 9 work. So got back to coloring issue 9. I've gotten 7 pages colored. I still got 3 to do before Friday when we do our next vlog. They're on Instagram, so add us on Instagram. You'll have that to look forward to for sure. And then 68 through 71, started in the hotel, cut up all these pages. This is actually day 69. When I came back the next day, patched all the pages that I need to. I think there were 11 of them. Day 70 consisted of fixing 4 of those pages, and then this last day, day 71, I finished up those pages, so they're ready to get scanned in, worked up, get into Webtoons, get that ready for Monday. Also going to be babysitting my nephews, so we're going to see how much work I can actually get done. But the big thing is that if I don't get issue 9 finished by the end of these 100 days, I'm going to really consider it a failure. When I started this whole process, I had no doubt in my mind that I could get issue 9 finished. I had no idea that all the problems I would have ran into, but that's still the main goal of this 100 days. So right now I have 30 days to finish it up. I'm making good progress. I don't foresee me not being able to finish it up, but if I don't, it's really going to bum me out, and it's going to be for naught, because I really want to know how much time it takes to put into an issue nowadays, and I've been still keeping track of all the time I put in. I've even disassociated the issues that I've been working on for Webtoons and whatnot, so all that I don't have to worry about. I'm going to put up the next 2 pages on Patreon, page 3 and page 4 in the next few days as well. Put up the sketchbook for June last week. The video is up as well, so if you want to support me on Patreon, you can do that and get a look at all those goodies. But yeah, a lot of people are doing some great progress. I'm excited to see what Yann has come up with. I'm super excited about all the awesome work that's going into my sketchbook. I can see some real progress in these last few pages for sure. So I'm super stoked about that. I also have a commission that I have to finish I think it's going to be the primary focus of this next day. But the big thing is that I'm working on a couple different prints. One is for my friend that I did the painting for. I want to also make her a print kind of poster type thing for her business. Something she can just sell and make a little profit off of, and then go ahead and just put that into the business. I think it's just an awesome way to do it. Also, it'd be promoting my comic and character, so it's a win-win for the both of us. And secondly, I am going to be doing some fan art for one of my artist friends that lives here in Iowa. He's been doing a webcomic for a couple of years now. They're getting ready to release the second volume of his webcomic. It's called DreamersEcho. I'll put a link down below. I know you can read it on Tapas. I don't think it's on Webtoons, but I'll double check. If it is, I will link that down below too. But they have a Kickstarter running. That will be linked as well below. And I'm going to have some artwork in that. So, got a couple weeks to do that, or I won't be in it, but for sure looking forward to getting that done for him, because obviously supports my friend and also lets me promote my own artwork, so that'd be cool. Also, if you haven't seen the Mr. Rogers documentary, I can't recommend that highly enough. Me and Luke both crumbled to little pieces watching that documentary. We discussed it on Reviews and Movies this last week, and it was incredible. It's so cathartic, and what we both needed going in half of this year already, watching all these movies and whatnot, but that was perfect. Also, if you've been paying attention to the Roomies and Movies podcast that we do each and every week, there's been some wild accusations and just random theorizing from Westworld that is pretty interesting, that came to a head this last week. I'll talk more about that later probably. Definitely it's going to be in Reviews and Movies this coming week, so if you want, check that out for sure coming up. But if you get a chance, you need to see Sorry for Bothering You. It's an independent film. It didn't get a wide release. It's getting a wider release this week, but it is interesting to say the least. That movie blew my mind. I'm so glad that I was able to be able to see it while we were up in the hospital this last weekend. So that's awesome. Also, if you weren't aware, we were up in the hospital because my father was getting his checkup for his surgery he had a month ago. He got the all clear. He's cleared all the way around. They scoped his throat, and he's healing nicely, and that's awesome, incredible, and so now I can get full steam ahead back on my issue 9 for sure. I'm excited to get to issue 10 now. There's a lot of work to do in this next week, but for the most part, it's going to be a lot of work wrangling these nephews of mine, so I'm sure I'll discuss that more next week for sure. Yeah, I think these next few days I'm going to be working on 9, so going to be making some great progress on that. The accountability blog will be on Friday. I believe Yann will be hosting. If not, it'll be on my Instagram, but go ahead, add us for sure. Looking forward to that, just because he's been in Instagram all week, but his pages that he's been putting together for Phosphor look gorgeous. I really wish I could share them, but those are his to share, and I don't want to ruin those surprises for anybody, so definitely give him a check out his Sketch Alona series that he does. Add him on Patreon, Instagram, just keep in touch with all of us. If you, like I said, if you want to support me on Patreon, $1 a month will get you access to the monthly sketchbook, as well as PDF forms of that as well. Right now I have the first half a year of PDFs for those. You can check that out. You're also going to get access to the colored pages of issue 9 and the process of those videos as well. That's about it for me now. I'll check in with you next week and show you all the progress that I've been up to too. Later. Peace.